I'm just trying to center it on you.
Say what?
I'm just trying to focus it.
Okay.
I like that. I think I'm focused on you.
I'm going down that way, okay?
Okay. All right.
All right, I don't want to leave you in the lurch. And this is Jack Castro. He was a very, very, very important volunteer. There's many pictures of him here, but Quilt would not be here without him. He was at the same meeting I was at, the very first meeting that Cleveland didn't come to. But he used to pay our rent, and he was a wonderful guy. I miss him a lot. These are people. That's Joey. That's the one I made the doll for. This one. That's him here and here and here, and yeah. So. But it's kind of my dead man shrine. And then Roddy got me that book, All My Friends Are Dead, because I'm always saying that. I've got a lot of, there's Cleve and Joey too. There's Cleve and me. Oh, when we were young. Oh. But anyway, been a long time, I'm telling you. Oh, there I am dressed up.
So what does it feel like to be around all this stuff all the time?
It makes me feel good.
It makes
the reason I worked for the Names Project is because nobody would let me talk about my friends that were dying, and I like to. Even my dog just died. And nobody could, so I don't want to bring. Oh, I'm sorry, I brought it up. I said no. That's what I want. I want to be able to talk about. Mm-hmm. I don't like it when somebody else said, well, they're dead and you can't talk about it anymore. So it keeps them alive in my. Because even Rod even says, he goes, God, the way you talk about it, I keep thinking that Joey's alive. And I said, well, kind of he is, because I do believe you totally die when all the stories stop about you. Then you're gone. I lived in the East Bay all my life. I was born in Oakland, and I got my first job in San Francisco. I worked in the theater forever. And I also worked in sold men's cologne at Macy's up until the time that I quit for the quilt. And I've always hung around gay men. So that's all I've ever known about gay men. Back and say, well, AIDS for me had started in the late 70s, but I can only do that once, we get through many years, and then I can go, oh God, that's what that guy had. That's when somebody got thrush in the theater, But my very first experience with somebody that I loved dying was in 1981. 81 or 82, for David Calgaro. The first two panels I made, one was for Roger Gale Lyon and the other was for David Calgaro. David worked with me at Macy's in another counter selling hats and all. Big, tall, beautiful man who was a big old fairy. And I loved him. I loved him to death. He got sick all the time, so I would go up to the nurse when David was in the hospital, when they would say, there's a lot of boys getting sick, and that was David. But the nurse would cut me a pass, and I could go down to SF General and visit with him. And this was when they had no idea. I didn't even think they had the word grit at that time. It was just that boy was sick. And I remember sitting with him, and I laid kind of on his bed once, and I just kind of touched his hip, and he just kind of, oh my God, I burst into tears because he just said, he goes, oh my God, it's so good to have somebody touch me. And I thought, oh my God, how horrible. My boyfriend, I remember going home and I told him that story. I thought he'd think it was really beautiful. And he ended up within a few weeks leaving me because he was just freaked out because nobody knew. It was just people were just sitting sick and nobody knew what it was. And he goes, you shouldn't be touching them. And I went, how can I not touch them? I mean, this is my friend.
AIDS, Virus of Fear, all next week on ABC's World News Tonight.
Doctors do not know what causes AIDS, and not one single AIDS victim has lived more than 2 years after contracting it. And doctors don't know why. They do know that AIDS is an organism which breaks down the body's immunity system, rendering the victim defenseless against the slightest infection.
Once symptoms do start to appear, what sort of things are there?
Well, I think the obvious symptoms have become the Kaposi sarcoma, which has become familiar now to doctors who treat gay people. They are purplish lesions, which seem to look like bruises in many cases, which sort of start in your lower extremities and tend to move up through your body. There's a rare pneumonial infection, pneumocystis pneumonia, which is, if you have it, it's quite evident. Tremendous breathing problems. With other infections, there's weight loss, fevers, and I think Dr. Curran can comment further.
Roger was not my friend. His lover was my friend of 13 years, who I was more connected to than my boyfriend. I mean, we were so connected that I loved David, and David had a very successful job, and he needed somebody to take care of him, so I took off work at Macy's. I took off and I just stayed with him, just to help David out. And then I became close with Roger. I ended up adoring him, and I would take him to all of his hospital things, and they thought we were married. Then I ended up learning more about him. I never knew he was an activist. He was on the front of Physicians Magazine. He having his broadcast be filmed when people were being blacked out and didn't want anyone to know anything. And he's the one who had the quote, "I don't want my epitaph to read I died in red tape." So when I made the first panel for Roger, I thought I was making it for my friend David. And then after I made it, I realized I had made it for me. And my intent originally was to hand it to David, have him submit it, and then I realized how connected I was to it. And he's the reason that I am here, I got to put all of his belongings in the Smithsonian. It made me feel so good, because if anybody deserves to be remembered about what they did for AIDS, it's Roger Killian. I would go and visit them in the hospitals when all the nurses were in moon suits, and they'd want you to put one on too. And I remember asking them, is that for me or for the guy I'm going to visit? And they said it was for me, and I said, well, then I'm not going to wear it. But that's how afraid everybody was, because they didn't know how you could catch AIDS. The quilt would not be here without him. Oh my God, it's so heavy. Oh. Okay. It's really heavy. It's for Jack Castro. Very important person, Cleve, and all of us. quilt. Like I said, the quilt wouldn't be here without him. I'm gonna find out where the top is. But I haven't submitted it just because I haven't emotionally been capable of being apart from it. Once I get it open, I'll explain some things to you. Jack Castro was he was at the first meeting of the quilt, like I was. Cleve was not there. And he ended up becoming a very important person, paid for our rent for many years and whatnot. I helped him with the panel for his two lovers for Joe, Derek, and Wade Davis. And all the rest are for Jack in here. And so his first panel for them had a pink flamingo on it. From, the shower curtains had the pink flamingos, and he had 5 of them. So after I helped him, I said, can I keep the rest of the flamingos? I didn't know why I asked for it, but I did, and I kept it. Then we went on the tour, and I made us both aprons with the flamingos facing each other, and we had those on for a while. But then when he died, I knew why I kept the 5th one, and I ended up using it as a map. He used to come over and would do dress up with me, and Sylvester and a bunch of other people would come. And he used to borrow my shoes. That's what all the shoes were about. And so you could see shoes all over the place. And he used to have purple tennis shoes for the Names Project, and he liked the leopard. Somebody left me leopard on my lounge chair one night. They probably thought I was gonna make something fun out of it, but I ended up edging this with it. Now this is the best part about the quilt, is that it's the only one that does this. It has 11 panels in it. They're double-sided. And you open it up, and it looks into this bathroom. This is the 5th. That's one of the flamingos. That's actually the one off of his shower curtain. He gave his two lovers their last shower, and I gave Jack his last shower when he couldn't stand. And these are the actual outline of the shoes he used to borrow from me, these leopard kamalis. So I put the shoe down, and I we had our bunions in the same place. I went to London with him. I got him home. I was there for 2 months with him. I got him home, and I made it possible for him to die at his house. That's where he wanted to die.
Who the doll is made out of?
That's for Joey Van S. Ballesteros.
Okay.
He went on the first tour with us, and I made a great panel for him. But I just saw it. Oh, that's what I got in my hand. This is the letter on his panel. I put this letter. It's really big. I put this letter, and I read this at his memorial service. He worked for Art Agnes and stuff, and Roberta Ackenberg, and the quilt for many, many years. He was a little butthead, but I loved him.
How did you meet him?
In 1988. There were 6 of us that Cleve had picked to go on the first tour, and the one guy, Steve Abeda, decided he was not well enough, he didn't want to go, and Cleve really wanted somebody who was Hispanic, and he found him. We did not like him at first, any of the tour group. We kind of poo-pooed him, but Cleve pushed it on us, so he went on the first tour with us in '88, and then he became a major volunteer. And he's one of the reasons our database was put together, the way the walkways were, the logistics, displays. I was very close to him. He was a little leather boy. I love leather boys, okay? And so Evelyn Martinez and myself put him together. I was grabbing my hair. And he always had a little leather vest on, and he had this T-shirt on that said, "Dial 911, make a cop come." He always had to wear this T-shirt. And We put a safety pin through his pee-pee because that's where he had a Prince Albert. And so, but anyway, so her and I made this. Well, he was still alive when I made this. We made this of him. It was for his birthday. It was in the Pride Parade. Those two were together with little tutus on. It used to drive Joey nuts. And so I was over at his house for a while, and then we, after Joey died, I brought it back to the but I'll show you a picture of him. He was my best friend for a long, long time, and here he is. There he is at the quilt. He's walking. Cleve loved him very much, and he worked for Cleve a lot, and there we are together at the quilt. And then when he left, I don't know when did he leave? Probably about mid-1990s. I can't remember the exact date. But and then we got a big old fight. He didn't want to see me, and I think it was because he knew he was sick. Anyway, so he got really sick. His friend called me up one day, and he had to go to the hospital. I got him to the hospital really quick, and in about 2 weeks he died. And so, do you want me to read this letter that I
Yeah.
Okay. This is a letter I wrote at his memorial. It said, Joey, 6 p.m. That's the time of day that I hate the most. 6 o'clock and you're supposed to call. 6 o'clock and the constant ringing of the phone has become only a reminder that there will be no call, not from you. 6 o'clock, 6:30, 7, 7:30, no call. Then home and the unbearable sound of that silent phone. How is it possible for a phone to be so loud when I know it's not ringing? My buddy is gone, and with him, he took all the 6 o'clock phone calls, all the things buddies talk about, all the meetings for drinks at the Badlands, all the mischief, all the trouble, all the fun, all gone. He took it all. I hate 6 o'clock. Your laughter gave me joy, your friendship gave me reason, your anger gave me life. Nothing is all I see without you. Without your laughter, without your friendship, without your anger. Let it be known that Joey died fighting. I love you, Joey, more than either one of us could have ever known. What will my life be for without my buddy Joey?
Don't you think you should be remembered like all those people?
What?
Don't you think you should belong in the Smithsonian too? Because
I would like to think that I hope that I'm remembered for loving my friends, and when I say my friends, I mean everybody on this quilt, because they made my life wonderful. They made me younger, and they showed me what true friendship is.